All right, everyone, thanks for being here this evening. I'm Doug. I'm the director of the New York Tech Alliance and your host for this evening. And joining us tonight as co-host is Jeff Derose. Jeff, where are you? Can you wave your hand? There you are. So Jeff is the former director of and now entrepreneur in residence at the CSI Tech Incubator at City University, Staten Island. And in a few minutes, Jeff will share more about himself and the work he's doing to support founders and others in the tech industry. Before we get started, I have a few items to share. Please know that we record our events to share with everyone unable to attend, and recordings are posted on NYTA's YouTube channel. You can subscribe to our channel and view this and past recordings by going to youtube.com/NYTechAlliance. For anyone joining us for the first time, the Tech Alliance is a nonprofit organization serving the New York tech community, and at the core of our mission, we drive access, equity, and inclusion to make the New York tech ecosystem the most diverse and dynamic in the world. And at each event, we strive to focus on a specific segment of our community. This evening, and as part of the AI theme here at Civic Hall during Tech Week, our spotlight is on the founders who have created products and services using AI tech and who have benefited from participating in a local tech incubator. And tonight in particular, we've partnered with the CSI Tech Incubator at City University, Staten Island, where each of this evening's demoers has been a part of a recent cohort. And Jeff will elaborate on that shortly. To learn more about the New York Tech Alliance and how to get involved, visit our website at nighttech.org. How many of you are attending a meetup for the first time? All right. Okay, a few. All right. Nice. So for all of you joining us for the first time, our meetups are all about the tech and the market opportunities each company is addressing, not about the business or the revenue model. Those conversations can be had afterwards during networking. So during the Q&A, following each demo, please keep the questions focused on the tech and the problem or opportunity it's addressing. Otherwise, you're likely to get booed. Okay. All right. So thanks to our annual sponsors who help make events like this one possible. Each has a presence on our website, and you can learn more about them and how they support our community by going to nighttech.org/sponsors. Special thanks to the team here at Civic Hall for everything you guys do to help deliver this event, and to our parent organization, the FedCap Group. If you're not aware of either organization, I encourage you to visit both websites noted on the screen. One, to learn more about what's going on here at Civic Hall and opportunities to be part of the community. And two, to learn about the extraordinary work related to personal economic well-being, education, health, and workforce development that FedCap does to impact the lives of so many people here in New York and in other parts of the world. In case you aren't aware, Civic Hall occupies floors 2 through 7 of this building. It's about 85,000 square feet. In addition to meetings and events, Civic Hall is home and host to many education partners who provide digital training skills to a wide variety of people. And it also offers co-working space to the tech community. So Civic Hall is now providing free trial memberships, and the next one has already begun for this month. If you'd like to take advantage of the offer for this month or perhaps July, scan the QR code on the screen and follow the application process. We'd love to have you. And last, let me just go back there in case you guys want to do that. All right. And last, we love and welcome support to help us produce and deliver our programming. 3 ways you can help include attend as many events as you can, both in person and online, become an individual or corporate member or annual sponsor, or simply make a small donation. You can do so by going to nighttech.org/sponsor_NYTA. Okay, before I hand things over to Jeff, we're always curious about what's on your mind, your opinions, your thoughts, your recommendations. All feedback is welcome. You can do so easily by scanning the Jotto QR code on this screen. It's super easy. There's nothing to download, and you can provide answers in video, voice, or text. And tonight, we also have a Jotto word cloud And if Will get that screen. So up on that screen, up on your left, on your right side, we've got a word cloud going. And tonight's question is, which AI-driven product or service has had the most significant impact on your daily life? So take some time to ponder it, and throughout the evening, you can post it on Jotto, and we'll be able to see your answers in real time. I'm going to kick things off by putting in the first word. Let's see, and hopefully you guys will follow. Let's see how many people are using the same here. Okay. And there we go. There's the first word. All right. What do you guys got? Who else is? Anybody? What's impacting your life? Nothing. All right, we'll keep it going throughout the night, but go ahead and scan the QR code when you can and contribute when you can. All right, with that, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to Jeff Derose, who's going to take it from here and introduce our demoers tonight. All right, Jeff, thanks. Welcome, Jeff. There you go. Got it?
Yep.
Right. Turn it on.
Test.
There you go.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Hope everyone is doing well. I am Jeffrey Derose, as stated before, formerly director at the CSI Tech Incubator, but now I'm an entrepreneur in residence, and just want to say thank you all for coming out tonight. It looks like we have a very nice crowd. Round of applause for yourselves. Yeah, so tonight is a very special opportunity. I think about 2-3 weeks ago, Doug reached out saying that he's organizing an AI-focused meetup and was wondering if we could provide any support. And I said, absolutely. The CSI Tech Incubator has some great, has some great companies that we're working with, both who have came through the program and also partners. So thank you, all of you guys, for making yourselves available. And so just talking a bit about the incubator. The incubator, obviously, we're based on Staten Island. We live in the Office of Economic Development. The focus of the incubator is about creating programs and resources that's going to help founders grow their businesses, get funding, create jobs, and more. And so, this is an honor and a privilege. I'm happy to be here tonight to, showcase the great companies we're working with. And I think with that, we can kick things off. So the first company we have is AuthPay. AuthPay is an AI wallet that helps users maximize rewards by auto-selecting the best card. So Wen Hao and Mike Yu, if you mind coming up.
All right. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Jeff. Good evening, everyone. You can take a seat. Yeah, perfect. So before I dive, I know we have our screen up here for a while, but before I dive in, quick question. How many of you have no credit cards, zero credit card at all? No? Raise your hand. No? How many have around 3 to 4, 5 credit cards? A good amount. All right. Anybody has 10 or way more about that? Wow. I don't know how you're managing that. That's going to be crazy. So you, pretty much all of you will be fitting into our ideal customer profile. And very short. So in the US, the average consumers have 3 to 4 credit cards in their wallet. You might think that's not a lot, but just that number, it accumulates to $500 million in unredeemed credit card rewards just last year. So the opportunity here is very clear for us. We want to help consumers to capture that lost reward and earn even more. So why are consumers are missing out on that rewards? Because they are way overwhelmed. Walking into a restaurant, you need to think about, do I have 5% cash back from this card? Do I need to spend a minimum from that card? Do I have new card bonuses from the other one? All these are the mental efforts that's keeping the consumers away from getting that rewards. So that's why allow me to present AuthPay Wallet. AuthPay is an AI-powered digital wallet that helps consumers to maximize rewards by auto-selecting the best card to pay in every situation. Our AI can navigate between difficult credit card reward systems, user preferences, and merchant available promotions to find you the best payment combo in everywhere you go. And additionally, you don't have to download the app to become our user because you can simply use an NFC tag that we'll be providing for all of our merchants. So a simple tap, and you'll be able to use the app immediately. So as for our go-to-market strategy, we have just launched last week. So right now we are currently onboarding our 30 merchants that have signed with us previously, and we have 9,000 more merchants in the pipeline that will be onboarding after the initial phase with the 30 signed restaurants. And we have also just begun our POS integrations with companies like Clover, Toast, and Square. And this will be helping us to reach out to broader merchant networks and helping the merchant onboarding process even smoother. So one of our featured partners, Hand Hospitality, all of their 23 brands in New York City are signed with us, and we are currently working through them to make sure that we are providing the best services that we can. And what's more, besides us being an AI wallet that's helping consumers to maximize rewards, I want to make it clear that our vision for AuthPay is not just that. This is a new feature that we'll be launching very soon this year. It's called credit auction. So when consumers tap on the tag, we'll know exactly where they are, who they are, how much they're paying, what is their past transactions, and what is their preferences. And with that level of information, we'll be working with banks to make sure that they understand their consumers better. They understand why a specific consumer are choosing one card over another, so that they can understand them better and bring out more attractive offers to their consumers. So as for the team, we have Mike, my co-founder here, and collectively, our team, we have been spending the last 30 years in the payment and credit card industry, and we have been working with small merchants, restaurants, and app users directly, so we know the pain points. We have deep knowledge in this industry as well. So we are in very high faith that we'll be bringing out this live. And we do have our video demo. It's not going to be here, but we have our little table back there. So you're welcome to check out our videos and our tag demo later on. So this is all, but our last one is our ask is that we're currently raising a pre-seed round, and we have some commitments already. So we are welcoming any other investors, or if you know any investors that would be interested, we'll love a warm intro from you. Thank you. So I guess for the Q&A, any questions?
Yes, any questions for Q&A?
Seems very interesting, and especially when you brought up the auction piece. So, for context, I work at Amazon Ads, and auction is a big part of the ads business. How do you envision balancing what's good for the customer, the person making the payment, and versus what's good for the bank that's probably bidding for you to choose their card or to recommend their card for a specific transaction?
Thank you for asking about that. So we're going to preset through the API with the bank or the credit card institutions previously. And then when your payment situation is coming up, we're going to offer you, hey, if you just click on the to sign up this credit card, which is you don't have, they're going to get some instant discount right now. So our AI is going to choose the best deal for you, not for me, not for the bank. Because the bank is going to be competing to get you as a new customer, and they're going to make the best offer.
So, okay, got it. So you're basically giving me an offer to sign up for a new line of credit.
Correct. So if you have some like a Capital One card, that means the Capital One doesn't have any good interest on you as a new customer, but still they have, because there are a bunch of different types of card. But if you don't have a Chase card, and then Chase gonna make us some better offer to you. So in that sense, you can choose it, but still you're gonna select the best one compared to the annual fee, all this some APLs.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That I understood it differently before, but thank you.
I think there was more questions.
I'm just curious, you said you signed up 30 merchants. What do the merchants get?
About like who the merchants are? So the majority of those 30 merchants, they are restaurants in New York City. So what we're offering them is for the restaurants are going to be the digital menu and the mobile payment and the mobile ordering directly from the table. So for the restaurants, we'll be offering the free tags. Do I have them here? I have. So we'll be offering them this kind of tags with NFC stickers at the back, so they can just set this up at their table. So a new customer comes in, and if the staff is too busy with other tables, they can just order and directly place an order through their own mobile phones. And at the end, they can just check out very easily with this. And at the same time, for the consumers, they'll be getting the best rewards, best loyalty, best coupon out there. And for the restaurant part, they'll be getting fast turnover for more because it's more efficient, and for the servers because they can take on more tables without having to work overtime, and they can bring out the best services to the customers because they're bringing out the best items at the right times. They'll be getting better tips and more tips as well.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Of course.
So will this eventually allow like dynamic rewards programs from the banks to be offered? So then you'll end up competing in a marketplace for rewards programs. So now I can scan and Bank of America say like, I see in New York City, these are the rewards that people are going for. So I'll have a dynamic price change or rewards change in New York versus Pittsburgh versus wherever. So is that kind of where your end goal ends up being? Because you're going to end up just having these banks or credit card companies competing to see who gets the most transactions out of certain
Right.
localities, right?
Yeah, that's really true. Because it's those kind of data you just mentioned is we're gonna get in near future. So we can leverage or validate those kind of the data for some another purpose, like to increase your credit score, to getting some more loans for yourself, and then we're gonna give some side data to the lenders. But still, so when you're talking about the credit auctions, they are interested. The credit card companies and the banks are interested in this kind of data. But not only for that, they have a new channel to acquire some new customer card holders. Thus, it's based on some of their previous payment histories.
I think we have one
Hey
more
guys,
question.
one more. Do you have APIs with all the softwares that they're going to be at the restaurants to order, or are there particular softwares that you have APIs with already?
So right now we don't have APIs set up already, but we're in progress of building them, and we have our own server app provided for the restaurants. And at the same time, we're working with companies like Toast and Square so that we can be seamlessly integrated with whatever system the restaurant already using. So there will be really the minimum effort for the restaurant part to get on board.
But actually, the API is not essential. When you sign up today, so you can start getting some orders through us from tomorrow. Because it's the big POS companies is open APIs, so we already built up the SDK.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, it's already done. So we just need the permission from the shop owner.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Great presentation. Great. Thank you, guys. So next we have Revert Tech. Brian? Yep. Come on up. I'm very excited for you guys.
So, hi everyone. My name is Ryan. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Revert Technologies, where we deliver the lowest hanging electricity savings. We exist because appliances like the water dispenser will continue to use energy whether you drink hot water or not. There's a reason why when you press the red button, hot water would instantly come out, because every 3 hours this water dispenser would heat up a cartridge of stored fluid. That's what we found out when we plugged it in and tested it with our smart plugs. And so instead of plugging this water dispenser into the wall and let it waste energy at 2 a.m. at night and nobody drinks water, plug it into our outlet, and we have machine learning that learns the patterns of these equipment and appliances, as well as what's going on in the local utility grid to turn these appliances off and on for you to maximize your energy savings, but without disrupting your business. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hat me with water dispenser. What else is out there? Let me tell you, all commercial appliances waste energy just like the water dispenser, although the severity would vary. Some of the biggest energy wasters we've seen are vending machines. But even smaller energy wasters, those office equipment that's sitting in your office, let it idle for long enough period of time can also add up to insane amount of energy waste. This happens when your office is after hours, weekends, when people are on holiday, pay time off, or working from home. This is what a school looks like on a summer break. There's no students. All the equipment is still on displaying. For whom and what purpose? People don't even trade stock on the weekends, by the way. This is what a gym looks like after the gym is closed. Guess what? All the treadmills, ellipticals on, waiting for somebody to get on there to run. Doors locked. This may be less so obvious, less visible. Look at that mini fridge in an unbooked hotel or Airbnb property. Guess what? It's still cooling air, empty. And so this is what we do. Across hotels, gyms, offices, and schools, we save anywhere between 10 to 30% of their electricity bills just by turning things off and on for them, day in and day out consistently. This is our favorite case study and example. We installed 21 outlets at a university gym. 1 week in, we learned the baseline usage. Behavioral model starts to kick in from our AI. A couple weeks later, we start turning off the gym. And now it's summer break, we turn off the whole gym. 1 megawatt hour of energy savings a month. To put that into perspective, enough to charge 6 to 8 Teslas, depending on the model you buy. That's how much energy we save for the gym. Similarly, same story with our data and what's going on in offices. We can model out how much energy savings we can derive for you. About 30% of our energy bill. And so this is why I'm proudly introducing our solution, the lowest hanging electricity saver. We call it that because you don't have to use a ladder to go up in a ceiling to install us. We're normally just a couple of inches above the ground. Plug us in and let us go to work to save energy for you, people, business, and our planet. Thank you.
Thank you. Great presentation. Any questions from the crowd?
For me to make or for you, the user, to buy? It's not meant for consumers, built specifically for businesses. We don't sell this as a hardware, we sell it as a service. So, yeah, and I'm not supposed to talk business model, so I know I'm just gonna shut up from there.
All right, I was going to ask a business model question, but how do you guys roll it out? And I we talk about later, but just, is it through distributors or is it through?
It's a little bit of both right now. Currently, for smaller clients, we actually send them the outlets. They self-install. It's you know, as long as you do the pre-programming, it's actually very easy. Like I said, you don't need a ladder. You certainly don't need electricians for this. Just plug it in, we're good to go. Larger sized customers who don't have the hands or don't have the facility people, I mean, this is not even a hotel. It's even larger than that, like a university. We actually have managed install. We have a distributor in the West Coast. Interestingly, they go around people's property to install security cameras, voice phones, these other little gizzards, and even your Wi-Fi. They help us put it in their system. So, you know, we're in churches, we're in libraries, we're in hotels, we're in schools, all these kind of, you know, facilities. Yeah. So it's a little bit of both, mixed strategy.
Devices are notoriously inconsistent in my experience. What are you doing differently? Like, what's the communication backbone that these devices are using?
Yeah, well, so this is where I really shouldn't have started this startup. Yeah, very, very, very big learnings along the way where we thought, hey, you know, smart plugs are out there, the consumer stuff. When you go to enterprise, reliability matters. To build something roll out 1,000 of these outlets consistently across the enterprise is a pretty big challenge. Currently, we do rely on Wi-Fi, but we also have an alternative solution to Wi-Fi, which then we bring our own router, we bring our own communication protocol, and we do not need to rely on Wi-Fi. And that alternative communication protocol is called LoRa. LoRaWAN, so it stands for Long Range Wide Area Network, uses radio communication instead of Wi-Fi. Yeah. So just give you a sense of all the hair-pulling moments we had as a company to try to get this right. Never built something that requires 1,000 to be installed in a property.
Any other questions?
There's about 2,000 in the West Coast. It's about another 1,000 here in the East Coast. Yeah. And we have another 1,000 lined up. So
There's a question in the back.
You might have already specified this, but do you have to install it in every outlet?
Not every outlet, certainly not every devices. Stuff like a single monitor is not worth installing. We'll take the entire cubicle on a power strip and plug the power strip into us. That is worth installing. Certain appliances as a single left alone is worth installing, like a vending machine, like I said, or water dispenser, printer, commercial printer specifically. So yeah, it's not for every single outlet. It's either for a congregate of devices or it's for a single large device. As a cubicle, think of it this way. It's like a one incandescent bulb, so 60 watts on an idle basis. But if you draw it out over 511 hours of idle, just taking out the after hours, weekends, holidays in a month, that's significant amount of energy savings, right? So about 200 kilowatt hours, give and take. In New York City, 43 cents per kilowatt hour. That's $80, right? Or sorry, yeah. So like somewhere around that. Yeah.
I've one more question as well. Why not, potentially bring this to the consumer? I feel like this would be great for the everyday household.
Just strictly speaking from a competitor's perspective, and I'm almost out of time, but in the consumer market, things are already saturated by like smart plugs. They talk to Alexa, Google Smart Home. There's no Alexa here yet in a commercial space, so less competition in the commercial range. But also reliability, cybersecurity, all of the kind of stuff that happens with it.
Can you expand on the machine learning and your predictive model? Is it supervised, unsupervised, or a mixture? How do you predict the usage of power?
Yeah, so I'm out of time here. I'm still in the back. Like this is a big zero in front of me, so I need to. Yeah.
You can answer. You can answer.
Yeah. So a little bit of both. Supervised because we tag the appliance we install it in, so it helps the machine in the early startup phase to figure out what it is. But then eventually it'll go unsupervised because now we have a lot of data. Anyway, yeah. Sorry.
Do you have an ask or offer for the audience?
We're ready for business. So if you know anybody who is looking for energy savings, an office is great, hotels are great, schools are great. I mean, we closed our seed round already, and we're just rock and roll right now. So laser focused on revenue growth. Yeah, franchises. Yeah. Anyway, cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, great presentation. Next, we have InteliHire. You guys want to come up?
Hello. All right. My colleague Thomas is shy, so he'll come to answer the questions. Let's see. How many of you have gone through the pain of getting a job, through the process? And how many of you are going through the pain of hiring people? Right? It's a killer. Too many resumes, too many people applying. We don't know they're good or not. You get 100 resumes for a job that you post. What do you do with the 100 resumes? Who reads them? Who is qualified to assess what's good? This is where we come. So this is our funding team. And so for about every job that is posted, there is an average of 250 applicants. And today, companies use someone, depending on the size of the company, to look at it. Could be an HR generalist, could be just another employee. Some companies use ATS systems, right, that go and scan for words. And after they scan, they basically say, oh, there's these 4 or 6 people to be interviewed, right? And then people in your company have to take time out of their work, which loses revenue for you, to conduct these interviews, and eventually they pick whoever's best. So you get 1 applicant. The reality is that out of those 250, you probably lost a few gems. Now, what is the problem? 5 points, very simple. Number 1, there is a highly competitive job market. Number 2, applicants are not well prepared to go to an interview. 3, coaching people, helping them become better at interviewing is very expensive. Next one, people get really anxious and nervous, especially when they're younger and they don't have a lot of experience going to interviews, and they know it's their only chance and they freak out, and sometimes they just fail there. Good candidates, but you just lose them because they cannot perform. And lastly, the feedback gap is huge. How many times you're able to get good feedback from your interview? A caring person on the other side that is able to tell you what your strengths and weaknesses were. Numbers, just here quickly, cost about $4,700 to be able to hire one person. And if you look at students, 80% of the candidates feel that they're unprepared to be able to take a job interview. So what is the opportunity? This is where InteliHire, which is our platform, comes. And we have a dynamic real-time assessment. So basically, as a user, you will come, the AI will prepare a set of questions tailored to the job that you're applying to in this particular example, and give you feedback on the points that you're strong and where you can have some improvement, so that you can prepare, you can go study, get some advice, then you can come back, take another assessment, and then you can see your score improve. Build your comfort, build your strength on it, make you comfortable so that you can succeed on the interview process. What is the opportunity? Well, there is a growing demand for personalized help, right? All of us have probably applied for jobs where we are very well qualified, we don't even get a call. Second, we have a lot of advancements in technology, so we're taking advantage of AI, video communications to be able to help. Third, after COVID, remote work is common. And with remote work, also remote interviewing and assessing people becomes common. Next one is scalability. When you get 250 resumes, you just cannot handle them, period. And lastly is the reach. When your candidates are remote, somebody's applying from Hawaii, right? Are you gonna take an interview at midnight? Right? Probably not. So what is the solution? It's very simple. Number one, we create interactive practice sessions, real type of assessment interviews where people get, number two, real feedback. You get a personalized improvement plan on how to do better. You can track your progress. And then we also offer advice on how to overcome anxiety. We have two different products in our platform. Number one is Interview Ape. I'm at 0, I'm gonna finish quickly. Interview Ape is really built for corporations. So as a corporation, you post a job, people apply, they will get a link. With the link, you go on your phone, you go on your computer, you take the interview assessment. Everyone that takes the interview assessment gets ranked relative to each other. So when you as a hiring manager look at the people that took the assessment, you can pinpoint the candidates that you really want to see. Number two, NovoPrep is for people, individuals who are looking for work, or educational institutions that are trying to place people, or even have large alumni groups. Here, you just put a job that you want to apply to, and it helps you prepare for that job. What is the outcome? Well, we want people to do better at interviews. We want people to be confident. We want employers to have higher success on who they hire. We want to have increased accessibility to be able to get the right job for you. And last one, we want to be the market leaders, where every organization can use our service to find the best people. What is the ask? Join the revolution, prepare for your next career move, or find the best applicants that suit your job. This is our group of advisors, people coming from companies like Google, McKinsey, Microsoft, and so on, that help us build this product. And HubSpire is the organization that is helping us build this company. Any questions? Nope.
Any
Went too
questions
far.
from the audience?
Hey, thank you. That's a pretty cool idea you got there, realizing how many people are struggling to try to get work. Big question is, how do you, what categories you focus on? So for example, like a UX designer versus a developer versus someone in HR.
Anything. You need a nuclear scientist, we can have sample assessment for that. You want a developer, same thing. Even by seniority, you can have, you say, I want to be an entry software developer, or you want something more specialized, like a data scientist that focuses on, I don't know, predictive maintenance, we can do that.
Yeah, well, I guess the reason why I drilled down is because in the design world, it's actually it can be very shallow. And when it comes to getting feedback for designers, I'd be really curious to hear how you're providing them that feedback. Because from a developer standpoint, it's kind of easy, right? Like AI can help you sift out your code and do it better. But when it comes to visual work or even UX related work, that's a bit more tricky to do that.
Yes. So I think the important thing to remember is we are not an interviewing tool or a hiring decision-making tool. What we're doing for you is helping you give the opportunity to the 100 or the 200 applicants, and then rank them amongst themselves, right, relative to each other, so that you, when you pick those 4, 5, 6 people that you're going to interview, now you have data that will help you do that. In terms, maybe if your question is more on the technicality, we have like a ChatGPT externally that does a lot of the work, but internally in the system, we have an LLM that is actually going through the process and improving day by day how your organization deals with it. So some of the questions that we have, actually, you have the capability of modifying them yourself as a hiring manager. You can also even put the answers that you're looking for, and the system will evaluate that in a conversational manner. I hope it answers.
Way more questions, but I'll
I think you answered part of my question. You said that the tool is not validated for selection, right?
We don't want to do that because we want to humanize the process, right? So what we want to make sure is that we eliminate bias in the candidate selection, because the resume is long, because it's formatted one way or another one, because the font, because your name, because your gender. I don't know what bias people have. So we want to eliminate those and be able, based on the matrix of the results, for you to select the spot of people that you really want to meet.
Right. You may need to do some discrimination testing with the data in order to be able to use the data for the selection process.
But that's the human part. That's what you, as a hiring person, you're responsible for deciding. We give you the data relative to each other, right? So if
Right, but if I'm making a decision based on your data, then your data has to be validated, right?
yes, yes, of course.
Any other questions? Don't be shy. Okay.
Wonderful.
Any ask or offer from the audience?
No, we're really looking forward to have more people use the system. As you know, it's AI system, it's an LLM. The more people that use it, it gets better. Just join. Yeah. Sure. We'll talk later. Thank you.
Thank you. Great presentation. Great. Next, we have Crustdata from Chris Pisarski. Chris is actually one of our top mentors, does so much for the incubator. Thank you, Chris.
Hey everyone, I'm Chris Pisarski, founder of Crustdata. And Crustdata is Google search for company data. So the problem that we identified is twofold. In the golden age of data, data lags. So for example, I know a lot of you probably go and are going to look up some of these companies on Crunchbase. And you're going to see, oh, this company has 3 employees or 4 employees or raised around. When you see, and I started a data company 12 years ago, when you see all these figures, it's already 12 to 18 months old. So company data is lagging by at least a year on most platforms. The second problem we identified is that data is actually hard to access. It's hard to search. And what do I mean by that? When you're searching, for example, for drone companies in San Francisco that are growing by more than 10% month over month, it's literally impossible to do that on pretty much any platform that's out there. even just trying to find a list of drone companies in San Francisco is incredibly hard because there is no taxonomy for drones yet. People are searching for things like by taxonomies like financial services, which is kind of useless. You want to find maybe a payment gateway system, not a financial service company. So there's a huge problem with getting accurate live data and then precisely targeting the data set that you want to find. So we built Crustdata. And what is Crustdata? Essentially, we've built technology where we have pipelines pulling in from 15 different sources, and we index billions of data points every week. So when you look on a company on Crustdata, you know that the data has been refreshed within the past week. Now, the data sources include LinkedIn, for example, which is a source of truth on company headcount, SimilarWeb, which will give you the web traffic of the company in the past week, Indeed for job postings, et cetera, et cetera. So we're really aiming to give you a live snapshot on any company in the world. Now, the other problem that we identified was accessing that data. So we've fine-tuned models to allow people to free text search for data. In this example here, we said find tech companies using AI that have raised more than 10 million and were founded by former Apple employees. You know, you could do that search, but you could literally type in anything and we're going to have results for that. You could type in find companies similar to Stripe.com, and we've scraped Stripe.com's website, LinkedIn profile, Crunchbase profile. We've ranked keywords, and we're going to show you payment gateway companies or payment processing companies based on those keywords. The opportunity here, right? So like I said, we're in the golden age of data. The more models that people are building, pretty much we believe that every company is going to have an internal model within the next decade or so. It's what data is going to fuel these models. And for investors, for go-to-market teams, for sales teams, they need live and accurate data. And so, you know, the alternative data market is exploding and will explode. And, you know, we're going to kind of ride those coattails. So what is the ultimate vision for Crustdata? What's the outcome? We want to be the Google for people and company data. So we think we're close to product market fit on the company side, and we also think there's an opportunity to do it for the people side. Building lists of people is incredibly difficult. If I wanted to build a list of vice presidents of technology in the Midwest at companies with more than 100 people, with more than 20 software engineers, that's a really hard list to create. We have the ability to do that. And we also think there's opportunity to go outside of just company and people data with our technology and our model and allow people to just free text search anything. So that's our vision for the business. And yeah, I'm the founder of Crustdata, the Google search for company data.
Any questions from the audience?
Thank you. So I'm a data architect in practice and training. So my first question is, are you doing a lot of web scraping or API data sourcing from these companies?
Both. So we don't scrape behind a paywall or a sign-up wall. We're basically acting like a Google crawler and just indexing publicly available information, but just really fast.
Yeah, so the most fascinating part is how you take the unstructured data to structured data. Do you have like any kind of like a dimensional modeling, or are you doing like a data lake versus a data warehouse? Do you have any?
For not going too technical, it's just pulling the data into a warehouse and then just, it's pretty structured. A lot of the data we're pulling already is pretty structured. We also have relationships with several companies, and then yeah, we do API partnerships as well. So whatever's necessary.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think there's one on this side. You can go first, Cass.
Sure, I can hear you.
So you said that you pull information from LinkedIn profiles or the companies on LinkedIn. The reason why I ask that is because sometimes we forget to, we're between jobs and then we take a vacation. That, our job is no longer.
Yeah. So it's whatever it's indexed, Google's accessing on LinkedIn. So our headcount data, for example, is pulled directly from LinkedIn. So if you're searching for a company and you see their headcount figure that we're producing, it's from LinkedIn. Yes, is every employee putting on there that they, no, so there's like a 5% variance. The larger the company, the lower the variance. But yeah, for really small companies, yeah, there might be some discrepancy, but we like to, we'll pull up other examples of what other sources say. And, you know, we're saying like we're a source of truth because LinkedIn is as close as you're going to get.
Oh, mine is pretty quick. What about privacy from a personal standpoint? Because like California version of GDPR, and all these different states are gonna want consumers to have control of their private data or their data, and you want to become kind of that people side. Is that gonna be an issue?
Yeah, I mean, we've worked with investors and, you know, pretty big investors that had to get the legal sorted out. And our lawyers, there's several case laws that saying like scraping publicly available LinkedIn data is completely legal and there's no violation of GDPR or the California Privacy Act or anything like that. And we're not, I want to emphasize, we're not like logging into LinkedIn and scraping a bunch of LinkedIn data. We're literally just acting as like a Google crawler would. We've built that technology to do that. So we don't even have to pay for a subscription or anything to like a LinkedIn or anything. It's just what is Google accessing and indexing?
Sorry. Let's say you were to type in the search engine, find, you know, every, I don't know, VC firm in Georgia, you know, every founder of, you know, that VC firm and, you know, find their, I don't know, email address. Would it be able to, you know, do something like that, or how specific, you know, can it get?
Yeah, we track investors, but it's not our specialty. It's mostly on the company data. So you could say, find me, you know, EV companies in Georgia that have more than 50 employees, but more than 10% are on a sales, you know, and we're going to give you a list of companies. The people data section, that's part of the vision where we want to be able to do that for people. But right now you're searching for company lists. You're building company lists instead of people lists.
Any other questions?
Does your end product ultimately end up like a perplexity-based search engine where you have like a human read query of give me a company of this size headquartered in this location with this specialty? Or do you also offer like a more real-time Crunchbase competitive type platform where someone could have more of like a database queried
yeah, great question. So
search for companies?
We want to model Crunchbase in terms of the go-to-market, meaning that have open profiles of all this data piped in, and people can just access it for free and, you know, in front of a sign-up wall. And then if you want to access the data in bulk to power your own models, then you would pay for API access, which customers do now. And then as far as like the chat sort of give and take, I mean, yeah, that's kind of what we have already with our search. It's not as, the UI isn't like what a Perplexity would be, but that ultimately would be the goal.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for the questions. And any ask or offer for the audience?
Yeah, ask would be, you know, if anyone's interested in using it, we are actually going after that Crunchbase model. So in a month or two, it'll be open for public access. Right now, you have to pay for a subscription through an enterprise sort of subscription if you're at a company. But we are modeling after Crunchbase where people can just come, sign up, get access to the data, type in some searches. So feel free to use it, crustdata.com. Offer is happy to talk through. I run a venture studio as well, so if anyone needs help building a product or scaling, I'm happy to talk about that.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, great. Next, we have Wali. Come on up. Get on the stage.
I want to sort of presentation. I'm going back and forth between the two.
Oh,
Let's start with the deck. I was going to start with the deck. Hello, my name is Marvin Johnson, co-founder and CEO of Ask Wali, where we're empowering local businesses by making it easy for them to leverage the power of AI. I want you to meet Arthur. Arthur is the proud owner of a thriving laser spa business. He has a thriving business. He's really happy, but he's sometimes overwhelmed and also frustrated by all the incoming phone calls he gets from customers or patients who call and ask a lot of questions before they set their first appointment. A lot of times they're asking the same question over and over again. So to solve this, what he did was he took all that information and put it on his website about all the services he offers, the equipment he uses, background on his employees, things of that nature. But lo and behold, people kept calling because people don't have the patience to go through a website. They want to have a conversation. So imagine his day. He's trying to manage his growing business. He's trying to handle operational issues while at the same time trying to answer the phone. So AI is a perfect use case for Arthur. But one of the big problems with this is that most AI solutions are built for enterprise. They take some extensive implementation period, some capital outlay, or some kind of technical know-how. But Arthur doesn't have any of that. As we all know, there's about 20 million small businesses throughout the United States. And a lot of these small businesses have the same issues that Arthur has. And as we know, local businesses or small businesses are the backbone of the American economy. So when it comes to AI, how do we make sure that the backbone of our economy is not left behind? Well, I'll tell you what, the answer is Ask Wali. Ask Wali makes it easy for businesses because we pre-built custom chatbots where each chatbot is trained on a specific business's information from their website. Now, these chatbots can be created with one click, and they can answer customer questions, help service existing customers, also make recommendations. So the platform is an end-to-end solution that's seamless, doesn't require any implementation, no technical know-how, and minimal capital outlay. So what we think is that just like every business has a website, in the future, every business will have a bot or an AI agent as well. And so what we've built is an end-to-end automated process that lets us create thousands of chatbots per day in an automated fashion. And the way it works is we have proprietary software that goes out to the web, finds local businesses. We scrape those businesses' websites, take that information, add it to a vector database. A vector database is a database that's configured with data in a way that an AI can easily understand that data. If you heard of RAG or retrieval augmented generation, that's what we use to power the chatbots. Then the system actually creates that chatbot and puts that chatbot in an online directory at askwali.ai, where you can actually go search for business, kind of like an AI-powered version of Yelp. Then the last step is we use AI to create a custom drip email campaign specifically targeted to that business and send email campaigns out to that business to convince them to come try their chatbot that we already built for them, and then claim that chatbot and put it on their own website and further optimize it. So this is where I want to switch over if possible. Like this? Never mind. Never mind. I was going to show you a live demo, but never mind. So okay. So this is our website. We can actually go search for, I'm going to search for tacos in Brooklyn, New York. I'm going to try to. My mouse will work. That's why they say don't do live demos. Screw it. All right. Can we go back? It's working now. Now it's working. Okay. So I searched for tacos in Brooklyn. I found El Jefe, so I can actually chat with that business. I think the internet's really slow. We're gonna pivot and we're gonna be agile. So this is our merchant portal. I talked about how businesses can claim their chatbot. This is the portal that they log in to manage their chatbot. On the first menu item, they can add the bot to their site by taking a small snippet of code, add it to the website, then the bot will appear on their website. They can also update the personality of the bot. So where it says personality, they can say, I want you to talk like a Gen Z person, use local colloquialisms, things of that nature. They can also give the bot a goal, like, I want you to pitch the brunch special when you're talking to customers, or these new discounts, promotions that we have. Think of a gym. They can upload information about their trainer schedules and things of that nature. And so you don't have to call the gym and say, hey, is Tony teaching the Pilates class on Friday? You're going to ask the chatbot. and that's under the Train Your Wali bot. So under Train Your Wali bot, they can upload any information they have that's not publicly available on their website, any dynamic data that they want to keep updated. And then they also can look at chat history, of course. So they can look through the history of conversations, give every conversation a thumbs up or thumbs down. If the chatbot didn't answer a question correctly, they can give the chatbot tips on how to answer that question better in the future. So like I said, we think that every business, like they have a website, will soon have an AI agent or a chatbot. And some of the things we're working on now is taking the chatbots from just being missed. Okay. Let's start all over. So we're not just building a platform that does chat. We're actually building an AI platform that's going to help businesses or small businesses across their entire enterprise. We're working on things like being able for the chatbots to take actions or be agents, like take reservations, take orders, and integrating with back office systems like inventory systems and point of sales to really help that business across all their operations and marketing needs. Again, my name is Marvin Johnson. Our ask is we're actually currently raising money right now. We have about 5 beta clients. We just started marketing as of this week. We have about 5 beta clients using our platform, and we're looking to raise our seed round right now. And note to self, don't do live demos during this kind of things.
Any questions from the audience?
Hey, you guys have an impressive product there. Are you going to be doing any emails or voice, or is it just all chatbots?
So right now it's chatbots. So we want to get it into answering DMs, answering emails coming in, also voice, and then also interacting and being able to take actions on behalf of customers as well.
Got it. And is there a roadmap for that?
I'm working on, like this year, most of that stuff will be out there. Everything besides the integrating with the back end systems like inventory and things of that nature.
Got it. Thanks.
Anyone else?
Go on down.
I'm just curious. How do you bootstrap, if you do that, companies who don't have a lot of data on their website?
So yeah, the quality of the initial bot is kind of related to the quality of the website data. A site that's really built out has a lot of data, the chatbot's going to be more effective. So in that case, they might not be a great client for us, or they can actually upload data that's not on the website. A lot of small businesses just don't have technology. They might have data, but the data's not on their website. So once they get the bot, they can add data from the back end through that portal and add that data. And as you see, there's a lot of variation between the quality of websites of local businesses.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of businesses use some standard, Squarespace or WordPress. Do you have or do you intend to have any back-end connection or, plugins that will allow you to populate this information or populate from the back end?
Yeah, so we're designing a WordPress plugin right now to make it easy. All we need is a URL to create the bot initially. So the WordPress plugin just makes it easy for a layperson to create their bot with one click. But all it takes, you can go to our website right now. If you can search for a bot, the bot's not there, you can just submit the URL and we'll spin the bot up for you within 24 hours.
Marvin, would you consider also going through the social media of these websites to get more data to?
Yeah, we've thought about that. We haven't done that yet, but we've thought about that. Yeah, we're trying to, be streamlined and just use no website. Our whole premise right now is to be able to create a massive number of bots in an automated fashion, and a website is the most efficient way to do that right now.
So I just did a Google search on Shopify bot plugin, and 100 of them showed up. What differentiates this? Can you hold the mic? Yeah, I'll repeat the question. I just did a Google search for Shopify bot plugins, and a few hundred showed up. What differentiates this?
So I think when you talk to local businesses, the whole concept of AI and chatbot goes over their heads, and we're building this online directory as a sales tool to help bring it down to a level where it's tangible and people can understand. We have this website, AskWali.ai, is like I said, the AI version of Yelp. That's more of a sales tool than anything else. So a business, when we send an email to a business or call a business, They can go see their chatbot, they can chat with it right then, and they kind of get it and they understand it, versus talking about selling a chatbot and them going to figure out how to install it. We found that it's easier to kind of lead the horse to water.
Got it. So basically your pitch is that it's a lower barrier to entry for non-tech audiences.
Yes, exactly. And
Thank
we
you.
work with a lot of businesses, and if you're a baker and you make cupcakes, and that's what you do, and that's all you want to do, and that's all you really want to understand. But you do want to run your business and want your business to grow. And this is a tool that will help you do that.
And any last questions? We have one in the back.
And as I said, we're also building a platform. It's not just about chatbots. It's just our entry into the market. It's about building this AI-powered platform that will help the business answer DMs, answer the phone, all these types of things.
Are the answers only in English, or does the bot speak other languages?
The bot can speak other languages. If you prompt the bot, say, I want to speak in English or speak in Spanish, it will reply back to you in Spanish. We could easily add a tool to allow you to flip the language of the bot as well.
Same note, accessibility, compliance, like when websites use different things like UserWay, for instance, the widgets that help make accessibility. How does your bot work with those?
To tell you the truth, we haven't put a lot of thought into that yet, but that's a good point that I'll take on.
Thank you. And any ask or offer from the audience?
So I'd like you to go check out the website, give us some feedback. If there's a business that you would like to be on in our directory that's not there, we can add it. And we're looking for money at the end of the day. AskWali.ai.
Great. Thank you. Great presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.
And for our final presenter of the night, Mr. Cassie Johnson of My Home Pathway.
So I'm between y'all and drinks and grub, so I'm gonna make this entertaining. Thank you guys for being here. Shout out to Doug and Jeff for inviting me. My name is Cassie Johnson. I'm the CEO and founder of My Home Pathway. Let's start with a quick question. How many here have ever been rejected for anything that you really wanted? If you've never been rejected, please stand up. For those that have never been rejected, because I really need to talk to you. You've never been rejected for anything in your life. You're dope. So, just like a lot of people here that raised their hands around being rejected for something that you really want, there are about 5 million people a year that are rejected for home ownership in this country. And that's actually an opportunity. Oh, let me run this back. Sorry. There we go. About 5 million people are rejected every year for home ownership in this country. And that's the biggest wealth driver for most middle-income families and communities. As well as the other side of that, to actually reject you, banks lose a lot of money. Mortgage lenders lose a lot of money top line to tell you no. And so there's a two-sided problem there. 70% of middle America's wealth is their home equity, and banks lose money. And actually, they have to lose money to underwrite you to tell you no. So, lost problem in multiple ways. Here's a team that's changing it. Hate that picture, but it's all good. I'll forget another one. Paul, Daniel, and Diego, and we have a couple other folks on the team, but again, some of our supporters, Bank of America, Visa, Google, experience around bank examination, risk. And so a lot of times when people are rejected, it's because they're considered high risk. So what does that mean? When you're going through underwriting or even in pre-approvals, your credit score is pulled, your DTI, if you're going to debt to income ratio, some of the technical stuff. Like, what does that mean from a risk perspective? But there's a lot of opportunity now. There's actually ways in which we can actually help a lot of consumers that are considered high risk today to become better risk in a much quicker and automated fashion. Here's typically what the rejection flow looks like. On the top side, you either apply on a mortgage lender or your broker or someone else that gets you through pre-approval. When you typically get rejected, you get this thing called adverse action letter. For some of y'all who've never been turned down, you've never seen what that looks like, but a lot of people have. So it's considered your rejection letter. And but now we've created a platform where we can opt in, so those partners that work with us would be able to give those consumers an opportunity to opt in to work with our platform. You come onto our platform, the bank doesn't even have to share your data with us. You opt in, you set up your data, banking, credit, and income data, and we snapshot you. We give you an assessment, say, here's where you are today, and here's where we need you to get to for a pre-approval and to get through full underwriting. In that process, we actually have to make you smarter. So we give you financial literacy education as well as build your risk profile, and we get you back to approval level for the partner that you got rejected from. We can also do it without the specific rejected partner. Here's a typical path. Follow the yellow brick road. We have a recommendation structure. Things like credit builder loans, things like rent reporting, things like actually reconciling your student loans if that becomes your problem, to help you pull down your DTI, helping you find better car insurance as we raise your credit score and other risk parts of your profile, and just literally follow the yellow brick road. Super simple. Here's what it looks like for a consumer. We have a desktop platform that's mobile responsive. So again, you can see you're a grade D, we're gonna get you to an A. Follow the yellow brick road. It's a pattern. Here's what it looks like for lenders. We're building a Salesforce pipeline for them, so we can turn their rejections into income and actually revenue in the future, usually between 6 to 12 months, depending on how much work each consumer needs. And so it's super simple for them. Right now, if you reject 30% of your consumers, you send them out into the wild, you never see them back. Now you'll have an opportunity to see them back. What's our AI strategy? Risk transformation, engagement, and personalization. What is risk transformation? How do you actually make consumers better as you're building their profiles to get them to access to the things they need? Training our models so that it'll be able to identify the gaps within your risk, your credit reports, as well as your transaction data, how you spend your money. How do we help you make better financial decisions in terms of better spending between fixed expenses and variable expenses, and addressing the variable expenses to free up cash flow? Those are things that we're training our models on. In terms of engagement, we're flexible engagement models, trying to help you to tailor the experience that you want as a consumer, and how do we engage with you to get you to the recommendations and a path that's built for you, as well as personalization. Onboarding, the longer journey, because we're talking 6 to 12 months, and we want to make sure that it's personalized to each consumer that uses our platform. And so we're working through our AI strategy and tailoring that roadmap to get it implemented into our platform today. Here's some of our partners that we already have, TransUnion being one of the biggest ones, and LendKey and National Debt Relief, as well as the OCC, which we're a part of their work stream. Offer, join our platform. If you're looking at home ownership, if you're a realtor that actually has businesses with clients that are high risk, you can join our platform and send those high risk consumers to us, and we'll help rehab their profiles to get them to approval. In terms of our ask, early stage investors, mortgage lenders and realtors as partners, as well as tech resources. Always looking for good tech resources to continue to help us build our platform. And that's it, I think. There we go. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you. Great presentation. Any questions from the audience? You did great. You may want to hold the mic to answer questions.
It's a business model question. Who pays you?
Banks.
The banks, okay.
It's more complicated than that, but let's just say the banks for now.
Any other questions? Yep, yes.
Those other type of organizations that do something?
Not yet.
But you're working on it?
Yeah, we've talked to them in a couple of different, so we're working on expanding our partnership network. So they're on our to-do list.
I know Amalgamated Bank was doing something like this, and they were saying that the measures are pretty biased.
I know Priscilla.
Pardon?
I know Priscilla, the CEO of Amalgamated.
Right.
Yeah, I know her.
And that is some of this kind of challenging the bias that's in them before you try to rehabilitate the individual?
Well, the credit scoring models have some bias built into them. One of the simpler biases I'll tell you about, rent reporting. So if you know a mortgage is automatically added to your credit report as a trade line, and rent does not, they're actually the same payment history variance in terms of like about 10% difference between your average mortgage payment and average rental payment. And so that 40 points that your credit score would bounce on mortgage payment,
you don't get that for rental payment. But it's the same, it's measuring the same payment risk, right? So something as simple as that, but they've actually now addressed that by adding, you can add rent reporting to your credit score as a trade line, but most renters aren't doing it. So something as simple as telling a renter, add rent reporting to your credit score is going to cost you $50 to do a 24-month look back. 98% of renters, 99% of renters aren't doing that. So you actually look like a worse risk to a bank than you truly are. So that's the difference between being a subprime risk or a near subprime risk and a near prime risk, if not a prime risk, right? So then it's like, again, going from a D plus to a B minus or a C plus, right? And is that truly your risk that I'm looking at from a bank perspective? It's not. But you're missing so much other data. Now, alternative data is also going to be really interesting, but it works for everything but mortgages. It cuts off at mortgages. When a lot of alternative data structures, rent reporting is one of the alternative data structures that they're allowing in. But we can talk about it. Yes, there's a lot of bias in the process. And what we're actually going to do is pull out some of the bias because the lenders actually don't see the names and profiles. So you hide all of that PII and they just see the profile of the person without any of the identifying information prior to giving a pre-approval. So there's a lot of work for us to do.
Great question. Any other questions?
It works better for first times, and refinancing is coming as well. We want to be able to add refinancing into it. The structure for underwriting is a little different for a primary versus a refinance. And so we want to be able to expand it to refinance and investment properties like 1 and 4 family. The structures of those are, again, you have to get just the underwriting models, right? So each institution has its own underwriting models plus the base underwriting models. So that's a lot of where the AI and the data is going to be really interesting for us. And TU is one of our partners, gives us a ton of access to data. So again, I need some super dope tech resources. So if y'all know some, holla at your boy. We have a ton of that data that we'll be able to train our models on. But the other part is not just on the mortgage side, small business risk, credit cards, auto loans. There's a ton of different access to capital. So your platform, we're going to talk. There's a ton of opportunities in terms of how do you build better, smarter risks from a consumer perspective for their access to capital. But from a bank perspective, it's delinquencies and revenue, right? They're looking at it from a risk side. And so how do you help access to capital, both from a consumer standpoint and a revenue standpoint from a bank and a lender? And there's this thing called safety and soundness and regulations. And banks have to kind of stick by that. And so that's where they're like, well, if you're a little bit risky on the books, I don't really want you. But that's 100-some million people in the US.
Big problem. Any ask or offer from the audience, or you already made your?
Yeah, so again, we're fundraising now. So early stage investors, please reach out to us. Our ask, again, realtors, mortgage lenders, strategic partnerships, and then again, people that are interested in home ownership. Again, New York is a little tricky for home ownership, but if you are, come hit us up. And then again, join our platform, share it to your friends, family, and anything that you need from a risk perspective. I'll give you my contact. From a banking perspective, I'll walk you through anything. That's easy.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Cassie. And so that's all of our presenters for tonight. Once again, thank you, Doug, for this opportunity. It was great to just showcase just a few of our companies. We have something like over 90 cohort alumni who have come through our program. So thank all of you guys for just, getting involved with this tonight. A round of applause for yourselves. And if anyone has any questions about the incubator, once again, we're providing resources to founders. If you want to know about the experience, feel free to ask the people who are presenting today. They'll tell you what it was like. If you would like more information, Camilla and Brittany, would you like to just wave your hands? They're going to be manning the table in the back, so you can go to them, give them your information. They'll follow up about our resources, some of the things we're doing. We're helping founders win government contracts, grants, DOE contracts, We're doing a bunch of like workshops, we're giving resources, so there's a lot that the incubator has to offer. So if anybody needs resources for their company, please tap in with us. And Doug, thank you again.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeff. And another round of applause for all the demoers. Amazing stuff, guys. Really appreciate you. Each company has a table in the back, so afterwards, just feel free to meet with any and all and have a conversation with them. Before we conclude, I'd like to invite anyone from the audience to come up and with their own Ask Offer. Is there something that, okay, Jeff, did you take that? All right, absconding with you. Thanks. Is there anything that you would like to, oh, come on up. We got our first one here. There you go. Yeah, do you want to just inform people about it? And
Absolutely.
Okay.
So has anybody here ever hired an intern?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure a few of you guys. So my company basically helps connect companies to students. Basically what we do is that, we have a 5 to 10 minute call with the company. The company tells us, whatever criteria, they may want from, experience, specific major, even as niche as, athletes only. And within 48 hours, we will give you a few resume options. We primarily target students from top 30 universities as well as GPAs that are 3.7 or greater. So we're providing top quality talent. Our second kind of pillar as well is we offer a guarantee on our interns. So if at any point you're unhappy with the intern, you can switch them out at no additional cost. And then lastly, we're extremely affordable for companies and businesses. For $4.99, for $4.99 a month, you will get up to 3 interns. Those interns can work up to 10 hours a week, under a guarantee during the school year, and up to 20 hours per week during the summer months. You do the math, that's, $4.99, and you get 120 hours worth of, work from the interns. And essentially what we're also offering right now a 2-month free trial. So we offer free interns for the first 2 months. We essentially also aim to bridge the gap, that students face when getting internships. It's extremely difficult. I myself self-fund, my college education, and it's very tough, to get jobs or internships in today's job market. And traditionally, the pathway is you go on Handshake or you go on LinkedIn, and you apply to dozens, if not hundreds of places. You'll get, you end up getting a bunch of, rejections and applying to places that aren't really even what you want or require a ton more of experience than what you might have. Once you've kind of gone down that route, students typically go to their personal network, which, some students are fortunate enough to do, but not all.
Okay, I'm going to ask that we could talk about it afterwards. And what's your name, by the way?
Emilio.
Emilio. Okay.
Yes.
Emilio will be available afterwards to elaborate.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Emilio.
Yeah.
Come on up.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's a good one.
Thank you very much. I'm Viren Gujral. I am president and founder of EV Bots Inc. We are building robots to charge electric vehicles for fleets. And one of the things they ask is that if there are fleets that are interested in a demo, we will be ready with our prototype shortly and would be happy to discuss the opportunity with people. And thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, exactly. Sorry. You good? Okay. Hey, Michael.
Oh, you got that. Yes, my name is Michael Bendit, and I'm an independent sales rep for about a dozen software development teams. And my offer is if you are looking for a software development team, not to necessarily go with mine, I'm happy to help you through the process of how do you figure out where to get a team, where to get developers. Because there's talent all over the world, different rates, different issues with talent, all different parts of the world. I have cards I can give out, but if anybody has questions about how to find the right development team, I'm happy to talk to you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Michael. Hi there. Okay, Andrea, welcome.
Thought he was psychic. I forgot I had a name tag on. My name is Andrea Henderson. I am an executive talent strategist. I work with early stage companies to help them scale through talent. When you're making decisions about whether you want to hire someone or use a fractional leader, whether you need a co-founder, when you need a board, I can help you structure all of that stuff. So that's really brief. I'm the talent person.
Awesome. Thanks, Andrea. Okay, anybody else? All right. So just a couple more things. On Tuesday, June 25, a discussion led by Fragaman, a firm of more than 6,000 immigration-focused professionals and staff spanning more than 60 offices worldwide, will provide updates on how the tech industry is leveraging U.S. immigration policies to further expand and flourish in the current marketplace. The event is going to take place here at Civic Hall, and additional panelists and registration will be announced soon. The next meetup will be on Monday, July 8th. For this one, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to have a summer barbecue and social. We'll take a break in August and then resume our regular demo meetups on Monday, September 9, when we'll place a spotlight on climate tech. We'll share details about that as well as registration soon, and hope you can join us. And with that, thank you, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the demos. Again, each demo has a table in the back. The bar is open. The food is available. Go eat, drink, be merry, and see you next time.